Welcome back. I am attorney Nicholas Hicks, and this is our third and final installment of the debt elimination series. The information I'm going to provide to you today is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be legal advice. You should contact an attorney to see how this information might apply to your particular circumstances. Now, the last time we left off, we talked a bit about the process, how it works, how the bankruptcy process actually works. Today we want to change focus a little bit and talk about what life is like after bankruptcy. Of course, one of the biggest fears that people have about bankruptcy and what prevents a lot of people from really getting the relief that they need is the misconception that you'll never get credit again after a bankruptcy. And the truth is that isn't necessarily true. In fact, there are banks that who target bankruptcy filers with new credit card offers after the bankruptcy is completed. What you must remember about credit and how it works is, first of all, if you file bankruptcy, from a credit score perspective, you are still better off than someone who has not filed bankruptcy, but they have outstanding delinquent credit references on their credit reports. That's the worst case scenario, because as a lender, when I'm making a decision to loan money to a consumer, certainly one of my major concerns are there other potential threats out there, financial threats, that could impair you from repaying me the money I've loaned you? So if you have outstanding debt, delinquent debt, there's a good chance that someone may sue you one day. They may get a judgment. They may be able to garnish your wages. You may not be able to repay my loan because you have to repay these other debts. However, if I look at your credit report and I see that you've taken care of these debts in bankruptcy, no, of course, I'm not going to give you the best credit terms. However, the one fear I no longer have is I don't fear other creditors moving against you because you have eliminated those creditors in bankruptcy. So you are still better off than the person who has outstanding creditors, delinquent accounts, and is doing nothing about it. So, in life after bankruptcy, in order to reestablish your credit, you must use credit because it's based on a score. And the more positive information that we can put on our credit reports, the higher our credit score becomes. So in order to get that number up, I've got to put some good stuff on my report. If I'm not using credit, there's no way to report positive information. So when you receive that credit card offer after your bankruptcy has been discharged, by all means, you should fill that application out or go online and take advantage of the credit card. Now, yes, the credit card interest rates will be high. They will charge you other, annual fees. It's not the best credit terms, but for our purpose, it's a temporary situation and it's necessary. In addition, even though a lot of people swear off credit cards because a lot of times that's what gets us into trouble, into the bankruptcy to begin with, as a practical matter, it is a little difficult to live in a modern society without at least one credit card. You need a credit card to rent a car often, or reserve a hotel room, or maybe buy airplane tickets. It's a little difficult to operate without at least having one credit card. Now, it's true you can use a debit card now for the same things, but debit cards don't do anything for your credit score. So I would strongly suggest to you that you get at least one credit card. It can be a small credit line. In most cases, it will be a small credit line. Use it properly. Pay it off on time. Because as you're doing this, you are adding positive information to your credit score, which will be contained in your credit report. Now, there are three major credit reporting agencies in this country for non-business consumers: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Now, everybody, whether you've got good credit, bad credit, or you don't know, should take a look at their credit reports at least once a year. In New York State, you're entitled to a free credit report annually. There are a number of websites you can use. I happen to like annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com, you go on, they try to sell you your credit score. That's how they make their money, and if you want to buy that, buy it, but you don't have to. You can maneuver around that. They'll ask you some security questions to make sure you are you, and you can print out all three major credit reports, and you should, because part of repairing your credit or increasing your credit score is knowing what's on your report. A lot of times, incorrect information shows up on our credit reports, and you are entitled to challenge that information. And when you challenge the information properly, the credit reporting agency under the law must go back to the source of that information and verify its accuracy. So, for example, if you see a line on your credit report that says it references an account that was delinquent, you can challenge that. You can write a letter to that reporting agency, Equifax or whomever it is. You usually just give them your name, your date of birth, your social security number. You reference the information, the line or the account, and you simply state your complaint. This is inaccurate. I've never paid this account late, or this isn't my account at all. It was, or whatever your complaint is. They then must go back to the original reporting source, and they only have 30 days in which to verify the accuracy. If they cannot verify the accuracy within 30 days, the law says that they must remove that negative piece of information. The moment that that's removed, it increases your credit score. Now, you should also keep in mind that it doesn't matter why they can't verify it. They may send a letter to ABC Bank requesting that a particular account be verified for you. And that letter gets to the bank, and some clerk picks it up and puts it under a pile of paperwork and forgets about it. And 30 days passes by. Doesn't matter. They did not verify within that time frame. The information must come off your report. There are people who actually offer that service, but you can do it yourself. And you should take a look at that report every year. Now, even if you know that something is accurate, totally up to you, but there's no law against challenging it anyway. You can do wonders for your credit report by simply challenging that negative information, okay? The other thing you should also do, especially after a bankruptcy, is get the credit report, because your credit report should indicate that the various accounts were handled or dealt with through the bankruptcy, was included in the bankruptcy. It should indicate that. A lot of times it doesn't indicate that. It'll indicate some of the accounts but not the others. And what happens is, if it doesn't indicate that a particular account was handled in the bankruptcy, it makes it appear like that debt is still hanging out there, when in fact it's not hanging out there. It was discharged possibly in the bankruptcy. So again, it's very important that you have a command of your credit reports. Don't wait until, most people do, a lot of us have never seen a credit report, and we don't think about it until it comes time to apply for a mortgage or get an auto loan or apply for a credit card. Don't wait until then. Do it now, so that you have a command over the information that other people see. You should be able to see that information yourself and be able to do something about it if it's incorrect. So this is one of the most important things that you can do in order to rebuild your credit, especially after a bankruptcy. And I will tell you, for those of you who are thinking about filing bankruptcy or have, there is light at the end of that tunnel. I can tell you for a fact that in my 20 years as a lawyer, I have filed bankruptcies for clients, and sometime in the future, we've done house closings, which means they went out after bankruptcy and got a mortgage or a credit card, or we've done multiple bankruptcies for them, which means that they've rebuilt the credit, got new debt, filed bankruptcy, reestablished their credit, went out, got new debt. So there is life after bankruptcy. So don't allow that, the fear of not having credit again, to dissuade you from filing. If you have debt that is not manageable, you're working, a job full-time, 2 jobs, 3 part-time jobs, you're staying up late at night, creditors are calling you, they're harassing you, your life is miserable. And there's no glory in being miserable. Those laws were put in place with the understanding that sometimes we get in over our heads. Banking institutions got in over their heads and they got bailed out. This is your bailout. This is my bailout. If you need it, there's no shame in it. There's no shame in it at all. I have people from all walks of life come to my office. I have done bankruptcies for doctors, lawyers, other professionals, you name it. We get in over our head sometimes. That's what it means to be an American sometimes. We have access to credit, and sometimes we go overboard and we get jammed up. It happens, okay? So don't allow the fear or this idea of some kind of shame to have you suffer any longer. If you need the help, get the help. That's important. And most importantly, after you're done with the process, be aggressive about rebuilding your credit. There is a future after bankruptcy. You can get back on your feet, you can wipe that debt out, and you can establish new credit so that you can go on with your life and have the things that you and your family need. Thank you for joining us, and this completes our bankruptcy debt elimination series, and I will see you soon. Take care.